I'm so socially awkward. I'm so uncomfortable. I'm so terrified. And I'm like shaking like a leaf. And I'm like, fine, okay, I'll do it. My parents had never heard me sing. I never played any of my songs for my parents. So they have no idea what to expect when I'm getting up on the stage. Like, oh my God, she might suck. Like, we just don't know what's going to happen.
Awesome. I really appreciate you doing this. This podcast is about you and your journey in music and how you got to where you are now.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Cool. I'm Adam, by the way, and I just saw that you're from San Diego. That's where I'm from originally.
No way. What part of San Diego?
I grew up in Penasquitos, Poway area.
Okay. Yes. I was in Escondido and bounced around a little bit, Rancho Bernardo / Poway-ish.
Really? I lived in Rancho Bernardo before I moved to my family and I were living in an RB before we moved. We just moved to Nashville about 7 months ago.
Oh, no way. How do you like Nashville?
We love it here. It's amazing.
Cool.
Yeah. But how cool. Okay, so you're from San Diego, born and raised there?
No, actually, I moved out to LA from San Diego. I only lived there for, I think I moved there when I had to be like 15, and I lived there till I was like 18, so a few years.
In San Diego?
San Diego. But before that, I was in Atlanta, about 30 minutes north of Atlanta. And then before that, I was in San Francisco.
Okay. Were you born in San Francisco?
No, I was born in Burbank. So I'm split around a lot of places.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So you're born in LA, then you moved to San Francisco, and then Atlanta?
And then Atlanta. And then
back to San Diego.
And then
now LA.
Back to home base.
Wow. Full circle. Okay. Yeah. So how long were you in San Francisco?
Oh, shoot. Well, I only spent a year in Burbank when I was born here. So I was in SF from 2 years old to like however old you are in second grade.
Oh, okay. So you're still young. So did
still
you spend
young, but
your adolescent life was mainly where in Atlanta?
Atlanta and San Diego. Yeah.
Okay. So how did you
still count San Francisco though? Because I really do feel like it's I don't know. I think I just really connect with San Francisco a lot. So it's still a super special place in my heart.
Did you live in the city?
Yeah. I don't know area wise if you know much about San Francisco, but I
lived there for a while.
Oh, okay. So like Daly City.
Oh yeah. Okay. So by the college down there, or south of San Francisco. Right on. Okay. Cool. Well, how did you get into music?
Oh man, crazy question. I was always really into writing. Like in school, I loved narrative writing in like English class. And I think I thought I was going to be like a writer for a while. I thought I would write short stories and stuff. And when I was 13, well, I actually grew up a competitive dancer. And then that started to kind of take a toll on me. And not to mention, I kind of sucked at it, to be honest with you. I love doing it, but I kind of sucked. So eventually I was like, all right, let me try something else. So when I was 13, my mom bought me a guitar and I just started learning to play songs and kind of just for fun. I was like, what would happen if I tried to write my own song? And it all kind of started from there. Atlanta has a great singer-songwriter scene. Playing a lot of open mics around there. Eddie's Attic. I don't know if you know that venue, but super cool, intimate listening room. I think that's where like John Mayer came out of or something like that.
Wow.
But yeah, playing around Atlanta.
So you would just do like open mic nights and your mom would drop you off or take you over there?
The funniest thing is actually, I missed like a crucial part of this. I was in choir, and the whole reason I actually finally decided to try to write a song is because this girl came to my choir class and she was like, hey, I'm a voice teacher. Like if anyone is interested in voice lessons, like here's my number, here's my card. And I'd just gotten done with the dance thing, and I was like, all right, like, hey mom, can I take voice lessons? Like this sounds like fun. And she did give me voice lessons, but she really encouraged me to write songs. And yeah, she was the one really showing me around Atlanta and getting me into that scene.
Oh, really? The vocal teacher?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And then were you showing her your songs like when you'd write them?
Yeah, I would show her the songs, and then she finally convinced me to do an open mic coffee shop thing. So I'm like 13. I'm so socially awkward. I'm so uncomfortable. I'm so terrified. And I'm like shaking like a leaf. And I'm like, fine, okay, I'll do it. My parents had never heard me sing. I never played any of my songs for my parents. So they have no idea what to expect when I'm getting up on the stage. Like, oh my God, she might suck. Like, we just don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
And so I got up there and did my thing and was so terrified, but I guess I did all right. I
You
did
did
okay.
well,
I
right.
did well, yeah.
Okay, that's amazing. So then I'm sure that got the bug going for you.
Yeah, totally. So then I kept writing more songs, showing them to my vocal teacher and playing them around Atlanta, doing little gigs here and there. That's
And
where it
then
started.
did your family move to San Diego for work or?
Yeah, my parents actually separated, and
Oh,
my dad had moved us to Atlanta for his job. My mom has family in San Diego, so we moved back to San Diego where her family was.
okay. And then that's when you moved. You were living in Escondido, you said?
Yeah, like split between Escondido. So Escondido and Rancho Bernardo, Poway.
Did you go to high school around there too?
Yeah, I went to Del Norte and then I took summer school at Rancho Bernardo High School.
That's awesome.
I took
So you went.
summer PE. I took summer gym class because I wanted to get my classes done early so I could just get out of school and just be done with
Okay.
school early.
So you went to Del Norte, which is like Del Sur, right? Oh
No.
no, no. Oh, that's isn't that Del Norte? Maybe not. You're in Escondido then.
Yeah, I didn't
No?
go to school in Escondido, but that was where my dad was. So I was
Oh,
spending a
okay.
lot of time in Escondido, and then school
Gotcha.
was Rancho Bernardo, Poway.
Got it. Okay. Rad. And then were you playing, when you moved to San Diego, did you tell the people you're in school with that you're a singer-songwriter or like
Hell
how did you?
no. Hell no. You know what? That was such a weird time for me. And I think a lot of stuff was kind of very up in the air. And I totally just like lost music for a
Mhm.
second. Um, and yeah, I kind of really didn't have intentions of continuing to do it, I guess, at that point, or I had just kind of forgotten about it. Um, so for good couple years, I just had not written a single song. I was not playing any music. In San Diego, I love San Diego, but there's not a whole lot going on music scene wise down there.
Yeah, it's difficult now. There used to be a lot more all age venues and cooler little like teen clubs and stuff, but I feel like they're all kind of gone now and it's mainly like House of Blues or Soma or Observatory. Like they're only the bigger venues. There's not a whole lot of
Yeah,
spaces for upcoming artists to play.
totally. I agree. Yeah.
So with that, like, did you ever get back into music in San Diego or was that not until you moved again?
I did. But I did it online. So I started using this songwriting app called VOISEY. I was in contact with my now manager, who wasn't managing me at the time, but I'd known him since I was 13, and he was always just giving great advice. And I was like, hey, here's what I'm going through. Like, I really want to get back into music. Like, I just don't know where to start. I feel like it was a fluke. Like, I don't know where to start. Can you help me? And he was like, okay, listen, I have this friend who's starting this app. It's called VOISEY. It's a songwriting app. It's in beta stages. Just try it, see what happens. No expectations. And I started using it just kind of for fun. And then all of a sudden, these floodgates completely opened, and I was writing songs all of a sudden, like again. Um, so
Wow.
that was
How does the app work? It teaches you how to write songs or it kind of.
so it's like if you're a producer, you can upload tracks,
Okay.
loops in there, and if you're a songwriter or a top liner, you can get in there and you just use your headphone mic and you sing into the mic and write your own little 30-second hook or song.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty crazy. They have built-in like compression, and you can mix your own vocals, and they have vocal presets. It's pretty cool.
That's rad. So
Yeah,
you're using that for a while and then eventually started putting them out like on YouTube or something else?
using that for a while, and then wasn't doing anything like San Diego music scene wise. Still just keeping that online. And then when I was doing music stuff, I was just making trips up to Los Angeles back and forth because before my manager was managing me, he was like, hey, let me just, trial run some stuff with you. Here's an EDM producer who needs someone to write a song. So I wasn't even really writing for me at that point. I was just
you're pitching.
Getting back into the process of writing and learning how to be in sessions with producers, because that's a whole thing in itself. I was used to writing those little songs on my phone alone.
Right. Now you got to be in a big studio with somebody else that you've never met
and sing in front of them. And it was, yes,
that must have been nerve-wracking, right?
At first, yeah, for sure. For sure. It's so funny. I remember that when I first got into it, I was so silent. I would write the entire song in my head, and they'd be like, "Are you okay? Like, do you have anything going on back there? Like, are you writing something?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, it's almost done. I got it." And then I would just sing them the whole song before they even
without writing anything down.
Writing everything down, but not singing anything out loud, just singing it in my head.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And then you just sing to them and they're, I'm sure, blown away. And obviously.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
And when did you start writing your own songs and putting out your music under Poutyface?
I actually had a project called Olivia Night before I had this project Poutyface. And that was sort of just, I think, me, again, like getting back into it, like just for fun, mostly, see where stuff goes. The first song I released actually under that project was a song called Wind Up. And that was actually a song that I wrote in VOISEY, or like a hook I wrote in VOISEY. And we took that hook out of VOISEY and produced it out and made a full song out of it. And then my name, Poutyface, literally came from a song called Poutyface that I wrote in that app.
Oh, wow.
So we started writing for this project. I think it's coming up on like a couple years now.
Okay.
And our first release was April 2020.
Really? Wow. Okay. So like right after the world shut down.
Yes. And right after I moved to LA and realized, oh my God, I'm going to have to really learn how to live alone.
Sure. Wow. Yes. So where were you were just working on this project up until COVID happened?
Trying to think the timeline. When did we? Yeah, I would say I think maybe like December, January, was when we made the full transition to Poutyface, and we were just sort of sussing out what that might look like. Might sound like.
What made you go away from the Olivia Night project?
I think I just outgrown it.
Okay.
Because I'd had that since I was 13, and you change a lot from 13 to
right.
18.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, and now I couldn't imagine it being anything else.
And how did you start getting traction under your new project?
So we put out this song called Deathwish, and it kind of had a little moment on TikTok with cosplay community people doing characters and stuff to it, using the sound, and it kind of just organically grew a ton on its own. And then my now publisher found me on VOISEY and noticed that I had a song out, and that just started the conversation about signing me as a songwriter. And that also opened the conversation to signing me as an artist with Island, because he had a really good friend who was an A&R at Island. He was like, hey, I don't know if you're interested, but I'm going to take this to my friend, see what she thinks. And it all ended up just working out pretty seamlessly. So that started to get me in the room with a lot of people.
That's amazing. So you're still using VOISEY, or you were using it recently?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I didn't realize it was still like a full thing. Like it was.
Oh yeah, I love it. 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 It's just good practice.
Right.
And it's social media that I don't dread using.
I'm sorry, one more time.
It's like a form of social media that I never dread using. I love TikTok. I do love TikTok, but VOISEY I think is like it remains purely for me.
And you can follow people and find their songs and everything else on there.
Yeah, it really it looks like TikTok a little bit, but laid out for songwriters and artists and people who want to listen to it.
That's amazing. That's cool. So you had the one song that did well on TikTok. It transferred to TikTok, obviously, and then you started getting these conversations. That must have been a big moment for you. I mean, you're still very young, and you're getting these deals and offer, from a major record company. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, it was actually really not what we were planning for. We had total intentions of just releasing things independently, as long as COVID was going. So that totally changed the trajectory. Sort of funny, you think about like, oh, the signing, everyone's popping champagne and it's so nice and we're all sitting together, but I was over Zoom, over a DocuSign. So still great. But yeah, I love both of them. Warner Chappell's been awesome to me. My publisher, John's been thebomb.com. And my A&R, Jackie Island. They're great. They give me complete creative freedom, and that's all that I ask.
That's amazing. And your most recent song is Never Fucking Now? Never Fucking Know?
Most recent song is God
Complex. God Complex. Okay, that is a newer one then.
Yes.
Okay, talk to me about God Complex.
God Complex blew up on TikTok kind of by accident. Okay. I really had no expectations for that song. We had made it. And then like a couple days later, I was like, oh, just for funsies, I'm going to put this little 15-second part of the song up. And people were like, what is this? Oh my gosh, what is this? And I was like, do you guys want it? And all of a sudden it was just this groundswell of all of these really cool chicks using this sound and being badass. And I'm not gonna lie, like subconsciously, I think that song does something to people. It did something to me because I was promoting it so much day after day after day. I felt confident. I felt good. It made me feel good.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it just blew up from there. And then people were waiting for the song and everyone
got a bunch of pre-saves and yeah.
Oh yeah,
did huge.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And you're on this huge tour coming up also, Youngblood and Upsall.
Oh my God. Yeah.
What was that phone call like?
I was in CVS getting my second vaccination. So my manager calls me. I didn't even know who the tour was going to be actually, because he had told me, look, I don't want to get you excited. I don't want you to worry about it or stress or have anxiety over it. I'll tell you if we get it. So he calls me and he's like, hey, you're going on tour with Youngblood. And I wanted to scream so bad, but I was in a CVS. I held it together. I was like, oh my God, I'm going on tour with Youngblood. This is crazy. And just, yeah, I mean, the expected reaction. I was so excited. And I love Upsall so much. So I'm so excited to play shows with her too. I think she's phenomenal.
She's so cool. I interviewed her for this podcast when we early on, she was on tour with Max Frost. And to see, and within the couple of years, how big she's become is so crazy.
She's taking off right now. Yeah,
it's awesome to see, and so cool that she's such a sweetheart. So that's awesome that you get to tour with her. And Youngblood Dom is crazy in himself. Like just everyone I've chatted with that's toured with him is like said nothing but cool things about him. So, and I've had a chance to meet him before too, and he's just like, his vibe is just so cool.
He seems like it. Yeah. I also feel like he's a great study. Like in terms of performers and being on my first tour, he's gonna be a great performer to take some notes from.
Sure. You haven't been on tour yet. This will be your first one.
Show.
Oh wow. Are you excited?
Yeah. I mean, define show, like I've done open mics, but
right, you've done open mics.
Yeah. I'm excited, I'm terrified, I'm all of the things. I'm just gonna throw myself into the fire and hope for the best.
I like it. And how are you? So you're just gonna play all the Poutyface stuff on the tour? Because you said it sounds like you have hundreds of songs.
Yeah, we've got a lot. Yeah. I think I'm gonna play. We have enough stuff that's released, and I do definitely want to give people an opportunity to hear the songs that are out in a live setting.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll sneak in a couple of unreleased ones. I don't know.
Very cool. Well, that's super exciting. Huge tour, and congratulations on all that. That's amazing. What are you most excited about for the tour?
Just meeting people. I think I have gotten a chance to connect with people who listen to my music online. But I think it's a different thing to see people face to face and like feel their presence and look them in the eyes and be able to say like, thank you so much. Like, seriously wouldn't be possible without them. So I can't wait to just meet them, see people, see real people.
Yeah, for sure. Finally, right?
Yeah.
That is cool. Well, congratulations, and I'm sure that first show is going to be insane.
Yeah, dude, I hope so. We'll see, but thank you.
And thank you so much for doing this. I have one more question for you. I want to know if you have any advice for aspiring artists.
I don't want to say be yourself because that's the cliche form of saying it, but be yourself. I think also don't take yourself so seriously. There's no reason you have to. Don't try to uphold something that isn't you. Relax a little bit. Have fun. If you're goofy and weird, be goofy and weird. It's okay. Be yourself. Because that's the only way. So cliche, but be yourself.